Looks like we have a mystery on our hands this week. A mighty ship called the Envisioneer has taken the task of finding an ancient treasure, but sadly a storm hit and an important part of the map vanished. Today we will be showing you how our scholars solved the crime by using the important skills we learned this week. Enjoy how we caught Robert Neff and Dr. Smart in this interesting crime.
In this presentation we will be showing you how to do a neck splint. If we didn't have splints, the crew could be super hurt or could even die. If the crew died, then Dr. Smart could have got away. If Dr. Smart got away, he would steal all the treasure. If the treasure was stolen, there would be a big problem for the crew. That's why we are doing the neck splint. So first we are going to need a splint and some wrap.
Okay.
So first, you will roll it out, and you're going to make an M. You're going to put the M beneath their chin. Then you're going to wrap it around and make sure you ask the question, can you breathe? Yes, I can. Then we're going to take the bandage and wrap it around. Once you've wrapped around the bandage, you're going to tuck it in. And then it should look like this. And so then you won't be able to move like your neck around a lot.
In the case of the missing map, we had to build a model lung because one of the crewmates had a collapsed lung. We had to see the difference between the collapsed lung and the regular lung. In the example of the model lung, when breathing in, the air is pulled down and the balloon inside is kind of like your lung. It inhales with air, and then when you let go, all the air go out.
So this part is your diaphragm. It pushes and it makes your lung bulk up and then squeeze all the air out. Well, the carbon dioxide. So this is obviously your lung. This is the trachea. Then the top is like your nose and mouth. So in the case of the missing map, one of the crewmates had a collapsed lung. So the side effects were she could not breathe that well. She couldn't breathe that well. So next up, we have the engineering specialist.
7 years ago. Psych! This isn't a boring history lesson. This is about STEM, and we're talking about the E in STEM. That stands for engineering. This week, we made robots and truss bridges. I'm not talking about the truss bridges. I'm talking about how we built the robots. Every step was a new challenge. It was all challenging, but in the end, it helped us all. It helped us read the instructions better. That's what I'm trying to say. The whole week was a story, and during that story, 2 of the crewmates got lost, and we had to build the robots and program them, but programming them is a different story. Building the robots was fun and easy.
This week, in the case of the missing map, we had to program our robots to save crew members that were on the other side of the island. When programming the robots, we had to put the motion blocks to make it go forward, turn, and go backwards, and try to get the attention by making noises and flashing the lights of the robots.
Hi, we're engineering specialists, and this week we made the truss bridge. We had to make the truss bridge because the food supply was running low and the food was on the other part of the island, and the island was flooded, so we couldn't get there.
We made the bridge out of paper clips and straws. We had to make sure the truss bridge was wide enough for the M-bots to cross, but also it had to be sturdy enough to hold them.
We laid cardboard down so the M-bots could drive across the bridge, and they could bring back the food to us.
We had to make the bridge out of triangular shapes because triangles are a very sturdy shape.
We had to get this done really quickly, though, because the island could rain more and flood the whole entire island, and that we don't starve to death.
We had to control the M-bots carefully so they wouldn't break the bridge.
That's how we made the truss bridge this week, and we had to make it really good.
Next up is Medical B.
Hi, we are the Medical Examiners B, and I will be talking about the cardiovascular system and heart attacks. Heart attacks can make your heart stop beating properly because it's not getting enough blood. This can also happen when the atrial has a backup due to blood pumps backup. And if you get a heart attack, you should always call 911. I'm going to be talking about the heart too, and I'm going to just be abbreviation. This is the PA, the LA, the LV, the A, the PV, the VC, and the RA, and the right V. That's all for me.
My speech will be about the heart dissection that we did, and also the heart attack on deck. The heart is very interesting, such as how it pumps blood through our body to keep us moving and to keep us alive. And when you have a heart attack, you can't breathe, and you can't breathe great, and also there is a chance you die. The heart keeps us living and also keeps us moving.
Hello, today we will talk about snake bites. This presentation will include evidence to prove the person guilty and some fun facts about snakes. Also, you will learn how to treat snake bites and take care of it. For the activity, we mixed milk and lemon juice. The milk began to curl and became clumpy. There are two types of snake bites: hemotoxic and neurotoxic. Hemotoxic affects blood, and neurotoxic affects the nerves.
In this case, Dr. Smart said first mate Sydney Young had been bitten by a snake with neurotoxic venom. The doctor said this because he claimed Sydney was having delusions. Dr. Smart lied because the first mate was bitten by a snake with hemotoxic venom, not neurotoxic. As you can see, he lied, which means he's covering something up. Our evidence is important because Sydney claimed Neff kidnapped her, so Dr. Smart covered up the truth by saying she was having delusions. You can only get delusions from neurotoxic venom, not hemotoxic. The doctor is probably trying to keep the crew from finding the stolen map. In conclusion, Dr. Smart is guilty. That's all for today's snake bite lesson.
Next, we're going to transfer over to blood drop analysis. We'll see you there.
Hello, we are Blood Drop Analysis. Our job is to talk about the portion of the week where we did blood drop analyzing.
Why we were doing this was because we were trying to find out whose blood was at the scene of the crime.
How we did this was dropping fake blood from 12 inches, 30 inches, and 66 inches. We dropped the blood and waited a day for results. We picked 3 drops and measured them out.
After we took the blood from the scene of the crime and found out the blood was dropped from 30 inches. Even though shipwright Robert Neff was cut on his head, he must have been bending down when the blood splattered.
This helped us find the traitor on the boat who took the missing map piece. This was actually a very challenging portion of the week.
Working on dropping and measuring blood was difficult but fun.
CSI has been very fun trying to solve the mystery of the missing map piece.
Our advisor has done a great job throughout the week making learning fun. Luckily, Robert Neff and Dr. Smart have been taken away and the missing map piece has been claimed. Thank you for listening.
Hello, we will be discussing forensic science under the category of white powders. When we were experimenting with white powders and liquids, we had 4 identified powders and 1 mystery powder.
The 4 identified powders were powdered sugar, cornstarch, baking soda, and cream of tartar.
We had to figure out what the mystery powder was based on the reaction to 3 different liquids.
These liquids were vinegar, iodine, and water.
These were the reactions when we mixed the powders and the liquids.
When we mixed powdered sugar and vinegar, it dissolved. When we mixed iodine and powdered sugar, the iodine sat on top, and when we mixed water and powdered sugar, it got sticky.
When we mixed cornstarch and vinegar, nothing happened. When we mixed cornstarch and iodine, the matters didn't mix, and we mixed it with water, it got wet.
When we mixed baking soda with vinegar, it bubbled. When we mixed iodine and baking soda, it kind of made a slime. And when we mixed baking soda and water, it just got wet.
When we mixed cream of tartar and vinegar, it dissolved. When we mixed iodine, it also dissolved. And when we mixed water, it turned into a paste.
When we mixed the mystery powder with vinegar, nothing happened. When we mixed the iodine and the mystery powder, it didn't mix. And when we mixed water with the mystery powder, it just got wet.
The mystery powder had the same reaction and texture as the cornstarch to all three liquids.
So we were able to conclude that the mystery powder was cornstarch.
Our presentation was forensic scientists, and the activity from the week that covers this role is fingerprints. For fingerprints, we did the cocoa powder activity, where we put cocoa powder on fingerprints to find out who the thieves on the ship were.
We put cocoa powder on a cup that had fingerprints on it to examine the fingerprints, and we concluded that Robert Neff and Dr. Smart were the thieves because Dr. Smart had loops and Neff had whorls on their fingerprints.
This is important to the case because without it, we would not know who the thief was, and they would probably still be either on the ship or on the island.
And we are the forensic scientists.
Based off the evidence, this shows how Shipwright Neff and Dr. Smart are proven guilty.